Right, let's get right into it. When you think of Naruto Uzumaki, you probably picture the loud, kind of goofy, but super determined ninja, right? But underneath that bright orange jumpsuit, there's a hidden story, a really painful secret that shaped his entire life, long before he ever became a hero.
So, on the surface, what did everyone in the village see? A troublemaker, a kid who was always pulling pranks, desperate for any kind of attention. But the hidden truth, the thing almost nobody knew, including Naruto himself, was that he was just a deeply lonely, isolated kid, pushed away for a reason he couldn't even begin to understand.
And that's the big question we're diving into today. What was this massive secret that an entire village was in on? What could possibly be so terrible that it would make everyone turn their back on a little kid? To really get the weight of this secret, you have to understand the level of his isolation. I mean, this wasn't just about being the new kid at school. From the moment he could remember, Naruto was just fundamentally, crushingly alone. And this wasn't an accident. It was systematic. It was woven into the fabric of the village. You had parents literally pulling their kids away from him on the street. Shop owners would just look right through him, pretending he wasn't there. Everywhere he went, he was followed by whispers and angry stares. He was a little kid living all by himself, surviving on cheap instant ramen. The reason for all this cruelty was, well, terrifyingly simple. When the villagers looked at this small boy, they didn't see a child who needed love or a family. They saw a monster.
And that monster had a name, the nine-tailed fox, Kurama. See, years before Naruto was even born, this gigantic beast attacked the Hidden Leaf Village, and the destruction was unbelievable. It left this deep, deep scar on the entire community, a trauma that no one ever forgot.
And this is the first huge piece of the secret. Naruto wasn't just a boy. He was what's known as a Jinchuriki, a human container. He was the living, breathing vessel chosen to seal that very same monster away. He was literally carrying their greatest fear inside his own body. The injustice of it is just staggering. You want to know how old Naruto was when this happened? When this massive burden was forced on him? He was a newborn, 0. He hadn't even lived a single day, and yet he was being punished for a tragedy he had absolutely nothing to do with. So that leads to the next big question, doesn't it? Out of everyone in the entire village, why him? Why pick this specific baby for such a terrible, monumental fate? Well, it wasn't a random choice, not at all. It was tied directly to who he was, to his family line, a heritage so powerful and so dangerous that it had to be kept secret from pretty much everyone, especially from Naruto himself. And here it is, the big one. Naruto's father? He was none other than Minato Namikaze, the Fourth Hokage, the ultimate village hero, the very man who saved them all from the Nine Tails. And his mother was Kushina Uzumaki, a member of a legendary clan known for their insane chakra levels, the exact traits you'd need to contain a creature like the Nine Tails. Okay, so wait. If he's the son of the village's greatest hero, why on earth would they hide it? Why let him suffer like that? It all boils down to one word: protection. The whole conspiracy, the whole silence, was, ironically, meant to keep him safe. Here's the thinking behind it. First, as the Fourth Hokage and a war hero, Minato had a long list of powerful enemies. Second, if those enemies ever found out he had a son who also happened to be the container for the Nine Tails, Naruto would instantly become a massive target. So third, they gave him his mother's last name, Uzumaki, to cut that public tie to his father and basically hide him in plain sight. So you see the heartbreaking irony here, right? The son of the man who died to save everyone became the one person everyone avoided. The hero's child became the symbol of their pain. It's just brutal. And that's the central conflict of his entire childhood. The goal was noble, right? Keep the boy safe from his father's enemies. But the result, the unintended consequence, was absolutely devastating. A childhood of complete and utter isolation. For year after year, this was his reality. Nobody in that village could see past the monster sealed inside of him. Nobody saw the lonely kid who just wanted a friend. Until, finally, one person did. That person was his academy teacher, Iruka Umino.
And what makes this so incredible is that Iruka's own parents were killed during the Nine Tails attack. He had every reason in the world to hate Naruto, but he didn't. Instead, he became the very first person to actually acknowledge him, to see a child, not a monster. And that one simple act of acceptance, of just seeing him for who he was, well, it changed everything. It was the spark. It was the foundation that Naruto needed to finally start on the path to becoming the hero his father always knew he could be.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Naruto's story, at its core, isn't just about cool ninja fights. It's this powerful story about overcoming loneliness. It's about the life-changing power of one person acknowledging you. And it shows us that the journey from being an outcast to becoming a hero, it's all defined by those early, painful struggles. And it all leaves us with a really tough question to think about. The village leaders made a choice. They chose to protect Naruto's life, but the price was his entire childhood happiness. And it makes you wonder, how much is a child's safety really worth if the cost is their childhood?